Hi. Today's Gospel reading is the story of Jesus' appearance to the two travellers on the road to Emmaus. And the plot revolves around their failure to recognise their fellow traveller. They're travelling to Emmaus, which is a little noted town about 7 miles outside Jerusalem. And Luke doesn't say why they're going there. They may have just been going home or going there on business, or probably just to get away from the terrible things that they'd witnessed in Jerusalem. But the most important thing about Emmaus is that it doesn't really matter where it was located, but what it represents. Theologian Frederick Buechner describes Emmaus as the place we go in order to escape. It may be a bar or a movie, but wherever it is, it's where we throw up our hands and say, let the whole damn thing go hang, it makes no difference anyway. Emmaus may be buying a new suit or a new car, smoking cigarettes that you don't really need, reading a second-rate novel, or even writing one. Emmaus may even be going to church on Sunday. Emmaus is whatever we do or wherever we go to make ourselves forget that the world holds nothing sacred, that even the wisest, bravest and loveliest decay and die, that even the noblest ideas that humanity has, ideas about love and freedom and justice, have always in time been twisted out of shape by humanity for selfish ends. If Buechner is right, then there is a reassuring truth in this story. And that truth is that Jesus meets us on our road to Emmaus. In the ordinary places, in the ordinary experiences, in the places we retreat to when life is just too much for us. So as the travellers continue their journey, not knowing that they're speaking to Jesus, they tell him of their hopes and their expectations of this man Jesus. They say, but we had hoped that he was the one to redeem Israel. They're blind to his physical presence, especially as he is the one that they've missed and mourned. To me, this reflects our own struggle to recognise where our redemption comes from and how close it can be. We're often looking for redemption to reveal itself in some grand way, with some new wonderful experience, with fireworks and a fanfare. Generally, it's something we don't have, or it's something that we're not. But the message of Emmaus is that our redemption is just walking alongside of us, waiting to be recognised, waiting to be claimed. Richard Rohr, the theologian, says it best. He writes, "We are always looking to the next moment to be more perfect. We are a people always rushing into the future because we're not expecting a wholeness in the present. Yet this moment is as perfect as it can be. When we haven't grasped the present, we always live under the illusion, and it is an illusion, that the next moment is going to be better. When I get round this corner, when I see this church, when I get to Jerusalem, when I get to the hotel, whatever it might be. Everything we do is for the sake of something else, a means towards some nebulous end. If you can't find Jesus in your hometown, you probably aren't going to find him in Jerusalem. The pilgrimage has achieved its purpose when we can see God in our everyday and ordinary lives." I love that line. This moment is as perfect as it can be. The message of Emmaus is that our redemption is walking alongside of us, waiting to be recognised, waiting to be claimed. Christ comes to us in all kinds of unfamiliar guises, often when we least expect him. Do we see him in the stranger on the street? Do we see him in the crying child that's reaching out for us? Do we see him in the grieving widow, in the person delivering our milk or our post, in the small bird dancing on the bird table in the garden, in the man tasked with picking up the litter on the street? Often we don't. Ultimately, the two travellers did recognise Jesus as he broke the bread with them at the evening meal. But that was a sacred act of recognition of Christ's presence among us. And he did that using the familiar elements of daily life, food and drink. Due to the COVID-19 situation, we can't gather in the church building, and as such, we can't share communion together as a church family. We aren't able to use the walk to the table of grace to remember our redemption. We have to trust, and we have to look around us. What we can do at this time, as we travel this Emmaus COVID-19 road, or any other Emmaus road that we might find ourselves on, is ask Jesus if he will stay with us, for it is nearly evening and the day is almost over, just like the two travellers asked Jesus to do. And we can use those words as a wonderful prayer. At the darkest moment for those two travellers, when it was almost night and all hope seemed to have gone, they asked the stranger to stay. And in our darkest moments, when it's almost night, when all hope we had has gone, we too can ask Jesus, stay with me, Lord, for it's nearly evening and the day is almost over. We can use it as a prayer of resurrection hope, a prayer to keep us going, despite how we may feel or how we might feel about God. We are a people who are always rushing into the future, and as such we are not experiencing the wholeness that's in the present. This moment is as perfect as it can be. The truth is, Jesus travels with us on all of our roads to Emmaus, in the ordinary places, in the ordinary experiences of our lives, in the places we retreat to when life is too much for us. He is there. We need to pray that we can see God in our ordinary, everyday lives, that our eyes are open to his presence wherever we are, however we feel, whatever we're doing. And also to pray in those moments when our eyes and hearts are struggling and we simply can't see him, to pray, stay with me, Lord, for it is nearly evening and the day is almost over. Amen.